Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to another episode of The First Three. Today, I'm going to do a double header. We're going to look at the first appearance and technically first issue of a Batman comic. And then what I wanted to do is then also look at the first issue that the Joker is in, which ends up being Batman #1. So this should be a really interesting video, and if you have any suggestions for future first threes, let me know. Again, what we'll do is it'll be a combination of #1 issues that are establishing a book. It can be the first 3 pages of a new character being introduced. You can use your imagination of how we can expand the first 3, but essentially that's what it's going to be. It's going to be either launching books and how do they hook you? We'll always look at the cover of the comic to see if there's any sort of suggestion of what's inside. But then at the same time, we'll look at what do they do in those first 3 pages to establish the character and to get you interested in the character. I think some will be successful and some may not be as. So we'll see. I haven't looked ahead on this, so this will be new to me. Housekeeping. If you haven't checked out my Patreon, I would highly appreciate if you would. You can use it as a tip jar for this channel. I have over 200 posts on Patreon with about 70 unlisted videos. There's also, for people interested in learning, I have 2 different options that I can give you lessons. So if you're interested in learning to ink or learning to pencil, or want me to actually provide samples for you that you can work on, I've got it covered. I send you the video. You get all my draw overs in files, and it's been really, really cool. So all right, let's get to this. Detective Comics issue 27. So this is the first appearance of Batman, and the first thing that we see on the comic is Batman is on the cover. I always think that's an interesting thing because I don't think across the board every first 3 that we're going to check out will always have a clear shot of what's going to be introduced in the comic. Sometimes maybe they're in silhouette or a shadow or the back turned, whatever it is. It just depends. And then sometimes it'll be a knockout punch. So anyway, we've got Batman on the cover. It says starting this issue, the amazing and the unique adventures of the Batman. So you already know going into this book, this is what's happening, what's going down. Yeah, let's do this. All right. So add. All right, so this is the first page. The colors change quite a bit on these pages, although we're only doing 3. So let's read it together first off. We'll take a look at the full first page. So looks like some sort of crime or murder has taken place. So we've got the Batman. The Batman, a mysterious and adventurous figure, fighting for the righteousness and apprehending the wrongdoer in his lone battle against the evil forces of society. His identity remains unknown. The home of Commissioner Gordon, who at the moment is entertaining his young socialite friend Bruce Wayne. Well, Commissioner, anything exciting happening these days? No, except the man they call the Batman. Puzzles me. Hello. And let's see, is there any kind of allusion to... No, I don't know what that is on the page. Hello, what's that, Lambert? The Chemical King? Stabbed to death? His son's fingerprints on the knife? I'll be right over. Talk about something exciting. Old Lambert has been murdered at his mansion. I'm going there now. Like to come along? Well, this guy must be a good friend if he gets to go along to murders. That's kind of nice. Oh well, nothing else to do. Might as well. Sweet. The Commissioner and Bruce Wayne speed towards the Lambert residence. Hello, Sergeant. Everything under control? Yes, sir. We've got young Lambert in the back room. Uh-oh, Lambert's in trouble. Was he framed? All right, so, and after a thorough examination of the scene of the crime, the room becomes busy with the usual police routine. Well, I'm finished in here. Let me talk to young Lambert. Where's Bruce here? Okay, so Bruce is just kind of hanging back. And he's got a little bit, well, they're both smoking, but, I mean, you could argue that this is an allusion possibly to Sherlock Holmes, who always had a pipe. Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Hello? I didn't even really ever realize that, but that's kind of interesting. because he's the master detective, and Gordon, although good, isn't at the level of him, and they are confidants. Boom! See, this is what the first three is all about. You're gonna smash the like button right now and share this, right? Come on, help me build my channel. You know it's a crying shame I only have 7K subscribers. Let's do this. All right, hello Lambert. They say you killed your father. I didn't do it, Commissioner. Believe me, I didn't do it. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, and this is a repeat of the first page. And again, I apologize if the quality dips. I have a reprint of this comic somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. Calm yourself, my boy, and tell me all about it. And I'm very curious of how Bruce is going to interact with this scene. Well, sir, tonight I came home early, and I was passing excuse me, the library. I heard a groan. I rushed in there, and it was my father lying on the floor with a knife sticking up from his back. And I rushed in, and I got the impression of something leaping out of the window. I also noticed that the father's safe was open. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. We got a little bit of a flashback here. I pulled the knife out of my father's body and turned him towards me just in time to hear him say, "Contract, contract, oh." Then he died. That's how I got my fingerprints on the knife. That's the truth, Commissioner. Did your dad have any enemies or people who had interest in his business activities? Not that I know of, except his 3 former business partners. Let's see. They were Stephen Crane, Paul Rogers, and Alfred Stryker. Crane, Rogers, and Stryker. I'm just seeing if there's any sort of foreshadowing with the names. Commissioner, there's a man named Steve Crane who wants to speak to old Lambert. When I told him that Lambert was murdered, he got very excited and wanted to speak to you. Oh, I'm reading this one more time to myself. It's tricky to do the video sometimes and actually like soak in everything. So, Commissioner, there's a man named Steve Crane who wants to speak to old Lambert. Oh, when I told him that Lambert was murdered, he got very excited and wanted to speak. The Commissioner, okay, so this is Commissioner Gordon. What's the trouble? Yesterday, Mr. Lambert called me and told me he received an anonymous threat on his life. Today, I received the same. That's why I called up. This is good because now we've got a significant threat and the mystery is unfolding. That's why I called up, and I'm afraid I'll be next. What shall I do? So let me see something here, though. So yesterday, Mr. Lambert called and told me. So it's interesting that he's assuming that he'll be next. How would he know that he got murdered? But anyway, we'll say that maybe he was calling to talk to old Lambert. Wait, and don't nobody leave. Wait, what is that? Wait, and do not leave anybody in. We'll be over soon as we can. What's that, Bruce? Ho hum, I'll leave you here to finish your work. I'm going home. That's a really poorly worded sentence. Oh, look, it says cuck. Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, click. Sorry. The L and the I look like an I. Is he calling Bruce a... Well, never mind. We won't go there. Wait, and do not leave anybody in... It's got to be let anybody in, right? Wait, and do not let anybody in. We'll be over soon as we can. What's that, Bruce? That's bad editing. Meanwhile, Stephen Crane sits in his library and a feeling of impending danger when suddenly... All right, so this dude jumps in and looks like he popped him. There's a sickening shot. Crane slumps in his chair, dead. The murderer rushes to the safe and secures a paper. Interesting. So this guy is like... He's a fast safe cracker. He just kills people and then gets the safe. All right, so now we've got Batman. And again, 3 pages in, you know, this isn't always going to be what's going to happen, but we do get Batman. So, did you get the paper? Yeah. As the 2 men leap over their conquest, they do not notice a third menacing figure standing behind them. It's the Batman. The Batman! That's actually pretty cool. The Batman lashes out with a terrific right. Crack! He grabs his second adversary in a deadly headlock and with a mighty heave sends the burly criminal flying through space. Would actually have been dope if he really threw him into outer space. The Batman swiftly picks up the paper that the murderer stole from Stephen Crane's safe. It's an interesting drawing right there. You know, and that is kind of curious. I'm just analyzing the art. Like, this guy does a really, really nice job on this panel. Like, the car and the way that he suggested all this is quite well done. And then his figure drawing really is not very advanced. He almost draws people in clothes better, which I would consider something like this typically a little more challenging to draw than something like this, but there you go. Mr. Crane has been murdered, sir. It's horrible. That's two dead. That's two dead partners out of the 4 that have received threatening notes. The other 2 must have received them too. Let's go to Rogers next. The Batman reads the paper he snatched from the killers, and a grim smile comes to his lips. He speeds his car forward to an unknown destination. Interesting. So possibly what Batman read in the note would lead him to where he's headed, or I don't get the impression that he's going. He may be going to the next person's house of the names mentioned, but I kind of more gain the impression that based on what he read, he has an inkling of where he needs to go. So I will say I think that that's a really, really good first 3 pages, and you're talking about a book that was drawn in 1936, I believe. So well done. You know, again, we've got a little bit of the Sherlock Holmes and Watson kind of vibe with Batman being the superior detective to Gordon. And all right, now we're going to do the first appearance of the Joker, who appears in Batman #1, which came out in 1940. So this is 4 years later. Batman's been established. Now, I'll be honest, I have no idea how popular of a character Batman was in 1940. So if you know, was he a big deal? Like, were people like way into this at this point? I don't know. So anyway, on the cover of Batman #1, we have a very nice, beautiful logo, and Batman and Robin. So obviously Robin has been introduced already, and this is all brand new adventures of the Batman and Robin and Boy Wonder. But what we were looking at here is, remember, this is the first appearance of the Joker. So the Joker is not suggested on the cover. So okay, not that it matters, but it's an interesting point, and that's an ad. Get an old school bicycle. All right, so the legend of the Batman, who he is and how he came to be. All right, so they're going to do a quick retelling of his origin here, it looks like, which is cool. And I think if you're going to, relaunch a title, then that would be a good way to do it. So one night, some 15 years ago, Thomas Wayne, his wife, and his son were walking home from a movie. What is this? Stick up, buddy. I'll take that necklace you're wearing, lady. Leave her alone. You owe. And there's little Bruce. You asked for it. Bam. And Thomas, you've killed him. Help. Police, help. This'll shut you up. And he's going to cap her, too. The boy's eyes are wide with terror and shock as the horrible scene is spread before him. Father, mother, and, we're not getting the pearls and a lot of the iconography that we see later, but a very, very heart-wrenching scene and quite violent, honestly. Dead. They're dead. Days later, a curious and strange scene takes place, and I swear by the spirit of my parents to avenge their death by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals. And he's like kind of in shadow, and I think that's nice, although he is in shadow a bit here too. So as years pass, Bruce Wayne prepares himself for his career. He becomes a master scientist, and this is all in 15 years he does this, trains his body to physical perfection until he is able to perform amazing athletic feats. Dad's estate left me wealthy. I'm ready, but first I must have a disguise. So, the retelling his thought process on becoming the Batman. Criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot. So my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. I must be a creature of the night, black, terrible, as if in answer, a huge bat flies in the open window. A bat, that's it. It's an omen. I shall become a bat. And thus is born this weird figure of the dark, this avenger of evil, the Batman. All right, now here comes Joker. You guys ready? Boom. So they actually lead in with actually just a shot of the Joker turning around. And clearly he has plans for these three. And he's in the center. So, all right, let's check this out. Batman with Robin, the Boy Wonder. Once again, a master criminal stalks the city streets. A criminal weaving a web of death about him, leaving stricken victims behind, wearing a ghastly clown's grin, the sign of death from the Joker. Only two dare to oppose him, Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. Two to battle the grim jester called the Joker, a battle of wits with swift death, the only compromise. It is night. In most homes, people listen to their radios. My, isn't it peaceful sitting at home like this? Nothing like it. Static. Suddenly, the music is cut off. A toneless voice drones. Tonight, at precisely 12 o'clock midnight, I will kill Henry Claridge and steal the Claridge diamond. Do not try to stop me. The Joker has spoken. Right? That's interesting. I had never, ever probably seen this page. At least I don't recall it. You know, what did they establish? I mean, they established re-established Batman. You know, he's with Boy Wonder, or, yeah, Robin. We know that his parents were killed, and kind of what his agenda is on crime. We established the Joker. Not really an origin of the Joker, per se. But we will do that next. The next time I do one of these, I will actually find the retelling of the Joker's origin, because I am curious to see that. But again, in the first three, they knocked out who Batman is, where he comes from, what motivates him, and then his adversary. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed the first three. We did Batman and the Joker today, and again, we will continue to pursue the Joker. All right, please smash the like, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell if you wouldn't mind, so when I upload new videos, you'll be notified, and please check out Patreon. If you love my YouTube channel, please support me over at Patreon. For $1, you get 100% access to everything that I've ever uploaded there. And then there's other options for people that you know, want to go a little further. All right, I really appreciate it. Have a great day, and I will be back Saturday with a Storyteller Spotlight. And if you have any suggestions for that, let me know in the comments below. All right, thank you. Bye.